Now, Justice Mahube Molemela has been nominated as Judge President of the Supreme Court of Appeal. Now, the announcement was made by President Cyril Ramaphosa. This position, you'll remember, became vacant when Justice Mandisa Maya took over as the Deputy Chief Justice at the Constitutional Court in September last year. Let's get more now, and we're joined by Mbekezeli Benjamin, researcher at Judges Matter. Mr. Benjamin, thank you very much for your time, and good to talk to you in this new year. Let's start with the significance of this development.
Good morning, Toli, and good morning to the viewers at home. The significance of this development is really the fact that the Supreme Court of Appeal is an important court in our court system. The head of the Supreme Court of Appeal, which is the President, is the third highest ranking judge in our system. And if you look at the volume of work that the Supreme Court of Appeal deals with, it deals with almost twice as many cases as the Supreme Court, as the Constitutional Court deals with. So that signifies the importance of that court and the contribution that it makes to the law in South Africa.
Yeah. What do we know about Justice Molemela? Some descriptions I've seen talk about her as a trailblazer in the legal profession.
Yes, so Justice Molemela can rightly be described as a trailblazer. She was the first woman to establish a law firm in Bloemfontein, and she practiced for a number of years before she became a judge in 2008. Shortly after she became a judge, she was later elevated to Judge President of the Free State High Court, and she became the first woman to hold that position. And not long after she held that position, she went on to occupy several other positions in the Competition Appeal Court, in the Labour Appeal Court, and at the Constitutional Court as an acting justice. So she comes with a lot of leadership experience, but also a wealth of judicial experience as a judge.
Let's talk about the gender balance in the judiciary. It's something that has been on the lips of those who have been quite critical about the slow pace of transformation in the legal fraternity. How important, once again, is this development when we look at it from that prism?
Yeah, symbolically, it is extremely important to have a woman occupy such a significant leadership position is not a small matter. But of course, the judiciary in South Africa has made a lot of strides. Right now, we sit at 40% of our judges being women, which is an important development. But when it comes to leadership, unfortunately, we haven't performed so well. So when you look at the heads of court, which is a leadership position in the judiciary, currently only one woman is holding that position. So Justice Molemela will only be the second woman to occupy a permanent role as a head of court. And the reason why that is important is because in the judiciary there is a decision-making body called the Heads of Court Forum, which basically decides on judicial policy. So when you look at that body, there are 14 members, and there's only one woman currently. The next one is going to be Justice Molemela. So that means any decisions that it makes on behalf of the 40% of women in the judiciary, they will only have two women's voices in the room. And that for us is a problem as Judges Matter, and which is why we're calling for the judicial leadership and the JSC to take more urgent steps to fix that, to remedy that, and bring in more women onto the decision-making table.
Let's conclude the conversation by looking ahead, therefore, as to what the next step is going to be. Remember, this is still only a nomination by the President. What follows?
Yes, so the next step is Justice Molemela would have to submit a vision statement to the JSC, and the JSC will have to scrutinize that vision statement in a public interview. And the purpose of that public interview is for the JSC to satisfy itself that Justice Molemela is suitable for appointment. And they then advise the President on that suitability, because according to the Constitution, the President must consult the JSC. And even though he does he has to consider that advice and he has to take it seriously, but it is not binding. But in terms of the constitutional framework, they have to be consulted. So that's the next step that's coming up in the next 2 to 3 months.
Mbekezeli Benjamin, thank you very much for your insights on this matter. He is with the organization Judges Matter, a researcher there.